Hi dear all, welcome to the session of analytics. And in this session, we are going to talk about the types of the data in the analytics and thereafter various data modeling techniques. So in the previous recording also, we have talked about the information about the data modeling and there we studied about the concept of the data model and importance of the data modeling and various data modeling methodologies existing. And in this video, some extension of this data modeling and what exactly the kinds of different models exist in the data model that we are going to see. Now coming to the types of the data in analytics, in case of the databases, you will be having some kind of the large objects, binary large objects, and as well as the characters, numbers, data type. Likewise, we are having. But especially while talking about the analytics point of view, there are two main types of the variables, friends. One is the qualitative, and second is the quantitative. If you want to talk about the quality of the data, okay, like you can go with the categorical data, whereas if you want to talk about the measures or quantity, you can go with the numerical. Let me talk about what exactly the qualitative variables. A qualitative variable has labels or names used to identify an attribute of an element. Okay, identify the labels or names. And if you are referencing the qualitative data, which is used either nominal or ordinal scale of the measurement. And nominal here specifies that order does not matter. Gender, male or female, all these things comes under the category of the nominal. Ordinal in the sense order must be matter, whether PhD, MTech, BTech, all these particular things are referenced by the education levels. So qualitative data gives the ranking kind of things, and if you are observing the data in the order, then you can say that as the ordinal. And if there is no order but it is belongs to the categorical, then you can say that as the nominal data. And if you are referencing the quantitative variable, which is nothing but the numeric values and indicates how much and how many of something, is a measure kind of thing. And quantitative data uses either the interval or ratio scale. Okay, so interval here specifies difference of quantities that are meaningful, but ratios of quantities that cannot be compared. Example, temperature with the Celsius scale and all. And ratios here gives the quantities that are meaningful. Height of a person, and according to the weight, all these particular things can be known as the ratio. And apart from this quantitative and qualitative, we are having some other kind of the data also, based on the data we are collecting. So rather than observing the characteristics of the data, and while collecting the data, if you are going with these two things, friends, one is the cross sectional and second is the time series data. What do you mean by cross sectional? Data collected at the time, like approximately the same point in time. So suppose if I am comparing two data sets and I want to analyze those two data sets, and those two data sets are collected at the same or approximately the same point in time, then I can say that as a cross sectional. Whereas if you are referencing the time series data, which is the data collected over several time periods. So this is what you call the difference between the cross sectional as well as the time series. Okay, and let me introduce you the techniques of the data modeling, friends. Okay, so in the earlier class, we have seen the applications of the data modeling along with various important factors of the data modeling. Now this thing is purely dedicated to the techniques, how we can manage these particular techniques. So the data modeling, as mentioned earlier, is a process of creating a model for the data to be stored in the database. And this data model is a conceptual representation of the data objects and the association between different data objects and the rules of the corresponding population of the data. And this data modeling helps in the visual representation of the data and enforces business rules, regulatory compliances, and government policies on the data. Suppose, friends, if you are if you want to create one data model, then you have to consider all these things, friends. Just your data model is not merely a visual representation, but rather it is also containing the rules behind that particular thing, regulatory compliances and government policies upon from that particular data. And data models ensure consistency in naming conventions, default values, semantics, security, while ensuring quality of the data. And your model influences the entire data science project or entire machine learning consideration. So in this particular case, it should be consistent. Consistent means the same kind of the naming conventions, the same kind of the values you have to follow. So then only you can achieve the quality of the data. And the data model emphasizes on what data is needed and how it should be organized instead of what operations need to be performed in the data. So it is fundamentally give what exactly and how it should be organized, okay, rather than focusing on the operations. On any kind of the operation you can observe these things. And data model is like architect's building plan, which helps to build a conceptual model and set the relationship between the data items. Okay, so this is what how you can observe the importance of the data model. And now the primary goal of using data model here listed out, friends, ensures that all data objects required by the database are accurately represented. The accuracy and omission of data will lead to the creation of faulty reports and produce incorrect results. Sometimes, some dimensions or some kind of the data items you may overlook, but with the help of the data modeling you can solve that particular omission of the data. A data model helps design the database at the conceptual, physical and logical levels. You can observe the hierarchy of this particular data model. And data model structure helps to define the relational tables, primary, foreign keys and stored procedures. It all depends, friends. Like if I want to create a table, if I want to manage the keys, primary key and foreign key kind of thing, or else sometimes if I want to trigger the existing procedures, then I can go with this data model structure, right? And it provides a clear picture of the base data and can be used by database developers to create a physical database, okay, which is a blueprint and which provides the complete overview of the data. It is also helpful to identify missing and redundant data. And though the initial creation of the data model is labor and time consuming, in the long run it makes your IT infrastructure upgrade and maintenance cheaper and faster. One time if you could concentrate on the data modeling, definitely the byproducts of this data model are quality and the timely delivery of the data. And in the previous session we have seen, so faster performance and as well as the representation of the things in a global fashion, all the improvement of the quality, all these are some of the byproducts of this data modeling. And there are mainly three different types of the data models, friends. One is the conceptual data modeling, and second is the logical representation, the third is the physical. So in this if you are referencing the conceptual model, defines what exactly, so what exactly your organization requires, and it is typically created by business stakeholders and data architects. The purpose is to organize, scope and define business concepts and rules. And logical, how we are performing that, defines how the system should be implemented regardless of the database management system we are using. This model is typically created by architects and as well as the business analyst, the logical way. And the purpose is to develop technical map of rules and data structures. And physical representation, this data model describes how the system will be implemented using a specific database system. This model is typically created by DB and developers. The purpose is actual implementation of the database. So likewise conceptual, logical and physical models will observe the modeling techniques. And if you are referencing the logical data modeling, and you can observe here, friends, which is creating a logical data model and from the inputs of process models and as well as the data requirements, as per the requirement of the data, as per the process models existing in that particular organization, the logical data modeling yields the logical data model. And if you are referencing the physical data modeling, the physical data modeling depends on technical requirements and as well as the performance requirements, because the end product is the physical database. So it is very typical. So the technical requirements and these things should be observed from the performance requirements also. And from the logical data model it gets the inputs, okay, and then it is going to yield the physical data model. And this create and update of the data related to these particular things can be observed with the business data, what exactly our requirement is. And this create or update data can be done with the help of the physical data model policies. And finally we are going to give the end product the data. And here the advantages, so let me talk about the advantages and then we'll give some of the data modeling techniques like ER model and as well as the UML. The main goal of a designing data model is to make certain the data objects offered by the functional team are represented accurately. So because that software development and data modeling is a techno-functional model. So the functional users specify some kind of the input data, and those particular inputs should be properly represented. And the data model should be detailed enough to be used for building the physical database. Okay, because as we are dependent on this model, the model should be in a clear-cut way. The information in the data model can be used for defining the relationship between the tables, primary and foreign keys, and as well as the stored procedure. This already we have seen. And data model helps business to communicate the within and across the organization. It not only playing a role of a standalone kind of thing, you can distribute the same between the projects and between the companies also. And data model helps to document data mapping in ETL process, extraction, transformation, and loading process, and help to recognize correct sources of data to populate the data model. And already we have seen, friends, some of the aspects in ER model. Again, we are referencing ER diagrams or ER models as a default technique for modeling and design of the relational or traditional databases. So just we are having some kind of the representations here. So program ID, name, manager ID, status, which is one program, one particular program handles multiple projects, and these projects are combined with roles, activities, status information, all these kind of things. Okay, so the establishment of the relationship is very easy in case of the ER model. Okay. And coming to the UML diagrams, the next advent, actually unified modeling language, is a standardized family of notations for modeling and design of the information system. Some more or less ER and UML the similar kind of the patterns. So just if you observe the customer, order the appropriate information with the date and as well as the corresponding date and as well as the status of the order, and you can represent the corresponding methods which are activating on that particular properties, friends. So likewise, one to many relationships. Okay, this is order detail and item information and payment detail. So within this UML diagram, starting from the customer order up to the payment option, so whether cash or check or and or else credit card, all these particular things can be referenced by this UML diagrams. And the third important thing, so rather than representing the visualizations, if you want to document your information in the format of the set or table or some kind of the information pattern, then you can go with the data dictionary, friends. Like, in case of the databases, all the constraints, all the relationships, all the keys, you can observe as a data dictionary. So similar to here, suppose while managing the data dictionary, you can manage the data sets or tables, attributes or column information, and then you can observe here. So names of the corresponding attributes and which are all the keys here. Business entity ID is a key with the data type and all these description, and thereafter this whatever the row, whatever the ID. So this particular unique kind of the fashion you can observe here. Okay, so likewise, just we are having the representation of these particular the data items, like key, which are all the keys, what is the data type, whether there is an support of null, all these kinds, and along with the description can be done with the data dictionary. Okay, and in the next video, friends, just we are going to talk about the missing imputations and as well as need for business modeling. Okay, so that's all for the data modeling techniques. Okay, thank you.